Hey guys, I'm just gonna do a video today about things that are hard to find in the Philippines. Okay, and this isn't true everywhere in the Philippines, but it's true almost all throughout the Philippines. Okay, some of the things that are hard to find here are because of the size of the people here are smaller versus the United States or the UK or Australia, because the people tend to be bigger. So clothing is a problem to find here. Like, for if I go out and buy an extra large shirt in the Philippines, it's not going to fit me. I take an extra large shirt. Here, even if I go to look and find a triple extra large, and I haven't gained any weight since I came here, and even when I try a triple X extra large shirt, if I can find one, which is very difficult to find, they usually ride up to my belly button because the people are shorter. Okay. Other things that are kind of hard to find here are good quality clothing, such as shorts. I bought like military style shorts for over here, like I won't say military, like police style, like black shorts and stuff like that for in the summer. And they're made out of really good material. It's really strong, and they last you for years and years and years. I bought a few of those before I left. And the other thing is, make sure you bring plenty of shirts here when you come. The other thing that's hard to find here, that I find hard to get here, is good seafood that's safe, good beef, okay? There are places that you can order it. There's a rare meats place up in Manila, okay, and they sell lobster from Canada or Maine or somewhere like that. That's really, really good. It's not the Caribbean lobster or the Asian style lobsters that they have over here. You can get Asian lobsters up in Manila from some of the Chinese restaurants up there, okay, and you can buy them to take with you if you want, okay, and they're big lobsters, okay. If you're gonna cook those, though, I recommend cook them with a little bit of butter, to dip in, boil them, and then dip them in, or fry them. You can fry them, but use a little bit of garlic too. It just brings out the flavor in it a little bit better. Meats here, like I said about the beef is hard to get here. Good cuts of beef, anyway. You can get beef, but it's hard to get good cuts of it. It's hard to even find hamburger here in most places. I mean, if you go to a regular supermarket like SM here, it's not like walking into an American supermarket where everything's there and they have pre-made sandwiches, and you go to the deli and you can pick out deli meats. There's no deli meats here. It's very hard to find deli meats here. You can find ham, but the ham is not the same as back home. It's not the same quality. Cheeses, or you can find cheese, but it's not as good. It's expensive. Butter, you can find butter here most of the time. Some places don't have it, some places do. Coca-Cola, if you buy Coca-Cola at SM, you're gonna find more diet Coca-Cola there, or like a kind of half and half diet, okay, where it says less sugar and says taste the same or something like that on there. And it's actually got some kind of like sweetener in there to make it taste sweet, but they mix it with sugar so they can save on the sugar or something like that. I'm not sure what the story is with that, but they have it all over the place. But most of the Coke here, if you buy it in the bottles and stuff like that, in the glass bottles, you're fine. You're going to be getting regular Coke, and it's really, really good. Water here is not as cheap as back in the United States, where you walk into a CVS store or something like that, and for $1.99 when it's on sale, you can get a whole 24 pack of bottled water. It's not the same here. You pay a little bit. You probably pay double or maybe a little bit more than that sometimes. That's just one of the things around here. Canned foods. When you walk through the canned food section, you're not going to see the same canned foods that you see back in the United States. Back in the United States, we have a really good choice of canned foods when you walk through the canned food department in almost any supermarket. They don't have that here. They do have canned foods, but it's not the same. Finding vegetables here. Zucchini squash, almost impossible to find. Beets, almost impossible to find. Um, Even canned beets, very hard to find. You can find canned corn, things like that. Good lettuce, good lettuce is almost impossible in the Philippines to find. I mean, if you see lettuce, it's usually wilted or like it wasn't refrigerated for a while. It seems to me like when some of the stuff travels at some point, they're not refrigerating it, because in the Philippines a lot of stuff doesn't get refrigerated. They don't find a need for it, and a lot of people don't understand the need for refrigeration. So like I see them selling meat on the street. Now you'll see the lady out there at 6 o'clock in the morning with all this chicken in front of her. It's not frozen. It's not even refrigerated. And I would take it that it was probably from a freshly killed chicken, but you come back at 6 o'clock at night, the same lady's out there selling the chicken, and the next morning she's selling chicken too, and it makes you wonder whether she's selling the same chicken from the night before and whether she even refrigerated that chicken. And I think that's a good reason why people get sick here, okay? Most of the restaurants here, American-style restaurants like McDonald's, Greenwich, S&R Pizza, Army Navy, which sells like a Mexican-style food, Burger King, all that. Most of those places are pretty safe to eat. Some of the Philippine restaurants, like the street food, they have a little tiny place where you can sit inside the restaurant or something like that. I question the quality sometimes of some of those places, and some of them are great and they're clean, and you can walk in there and you can see everything being cooked and the way they do it and stuff like that, and that's fine. I have seen some places where I would really, really question the cleanliness of the restaurant, especially like places that have no water. Okay, those places I wouldn't, because they're not washing their hands, they're not washing the meat, they're not washing the foods. I wouldn't eat at those places, because of that. But like for us over here in the Philippines, most foods you can get, but you have to really work hard to get it. There is a supermarket up at the mall in Manila, if you live near Manila, okay? It's right near the Trump Tower, and it's at the mall there. I believe Trump even owns the mall too. It's right because it's right near Trump Tower. And at that supermarket, they have everything. Everything American is in that place, and all the Western style foods and pastries and stuff like that. And that's another thing that you have a hard time finding here. I mean, if you walk into Starbucks, you can find all the pastries that you eat back home. We do have Dunkin' Donuts and things like that, but like most of the pastries, like apple strudel, apple pies, things like that, you're just not going to find them unless you're going to McDonald's and get an apple pie from there or something. Okay. Are foods different here? Yes. If you go into McDonald's and you order a fish sandwich, it's not the same kind of fish that we have back home. Okay, I think the fish back home, I want to say it's pollock, but I could be wrong. I think here it's tilapia or something like that. I'm not. Don't quote me on that, because I just know that I read that the fish is different from the United States here. Okay, I do notice something about their burgers that's kind of funny. Their regular cheeseburgers don't taste like regular meat from back home, and I tend, I'm not sure if they use fillers or whatever, but or if it's the quality of the meat. Okay, but I do notice a little bit of a different taste on the beef, So I don't know what the problem is with that, but it's just something I noticed there. When I walk into SM Market here in Tracy, there's a place there. Now I'm not talking about the supermarket. I'm talking about the regular store where they sell clothes and stuff like that. There's a section there where they sell food. So if you're looking for like potato chips, nachos, salsa, pistachios, cashews, peanuts, all that stuff, you can get that here. Okay, that's not an issue here. All the soda you can think of, you can get here. Somebody was asking me about alcohol. What can you get here for alcohol as far as like beers? Do they have any United States beers? Yes. At SM, you can usually get Budweiser, Heineken, stuff like that if you drink beer they have it. Okay, they have San Miguel, they have Corona, all that stuff. So one of the other things that's hard to get here is good fruits. Okay, they do have watermelon, bananas, oranges. Limes are hard to find. Lemons are very easy to get. There's a lot of fruits here that you don't get in the United States that we can get here though, like papaya, mangoes. Mangoes are really reasonable when they're in season. Very, very reasonable. You can get a whole bag of them for almost very cheap money. And I love mangoes. So there's pluses and minuses here as far as food goes. I would just like to add this though, that if you're coming here and expecting the foods to be readily available and stuff like that, you're going to be shocked, because they're not. Most foods in this restaurants, you can get just about anything here in the restaurant that you can back home, except for submarine sandwiches and really good, Greek style pizza or something like that. There's a lot of stuff, seafood, you're not going to find it, like fish and chips and things like that. It's impossible to find. They have no real seafood restaurants except for Red Lobster in Manila. Okay, so if you're in Manila, you're fine. You can find almost anything you want. They have Outback Steakhouse. They have places like that. They have Subway. They have Taco Bell. Taco Bell in Alabang. Dairy Queen, places like that. But once you get a little bit out, you're the only way you get that stuff is when you go to Manila or Alabang or something, and when you get off to the other islands, the food even gets harder to get. But there are places, like I said, that will ship these meats out to you, and that's why I tell people, make sure you have a good little amount of retirement income over here. It is cheaper, but if you're going to eat American style, it's going to cost you. But something like if you have enough money to live in the United States on your pension or whatever, and you come over here and you're paying 1/10 or 1/20 or 1/30, that, not 1/10 rather, not 1/20, 1/10 or 20% or 30% of if you're paying out rents like that, compared to back home paying, like, let's say $1,000, you're paying $100, $200, $300. I'm paying $60, $70 a month here, and I have a nice place, so you can use that for your food money, the other types of foods that you really like, and that's the good thing about it. Okay, but as far as worrying about foods, guys, don't worry about it when you're coming over here. You'll find places that have this stuff, but you might have to search around and shop a little bit different. Okay, breads, good breads. I had to shop around for a while before I found the breads that I liked, and I have to travel a little bit to get them. But you will find them, unless you're on a really remote island, or if you're in Mindanao, it might be a little bit harder, but you will find this stuff. Okay, there are places that make it, but the closer you are to Manila, the better off you are as far as foods. Okay, all right, guys, be sure to press subscribe and press like and leave any comments, and we'll talk to you later.